Evening LTL Nation, and welcome back to the 7-minute breakthrough revolution. My name is Kelsey Evans. Have you ever been to the dentist? I'm sure we all have. I definitely have, wearing a brace. When I was younger and I went to the dentist, they used to say to me that brushing your teeth is a really good habit to have because it helps keep your teeth super strong and super healthy. So I thought, right, great, brushing my teeth, great habit to have. Check, do it every day, twice a day. And then a few years later, I went back to the same dentist and they told me that brushing your teeth can also be a bad habit if you do it too often and too hard. Because when you brush too hard on your teeth, it can rub away the enamel. And that just goes to show that habits we have, they're not good or bad. All habits can have both positive and negative effects, depending on how we implement them in our lives. I brush my teeth every day, but I try to use a soft toothbrush to keep the enamel there. And that's the thing, you can have negative and positive side effects to a habit. So don't label them good or bad, they're just what they are. They are a habit and that's it. When I was 19 years old, I went on my very first diet. I was going on holiday with my friends in the July to Ayia Napa, and I was so excited, but I thought I wanted to lose a bit of weight. I wasn't overweight, but there was a little bit of, what should we call it, an extra few inches that I wanted to get rid of. So I decided to get rid of some bad habits, well, the habits that I perceived to be bad, because habits are what we name them. They're how we perceive something. So if you're a smoker, for instance, and you're around people who smoke and they think it's good and cool, then you might think that habit is great because it gets you more into the social aspect of your life, and you might think it's a really good habit. But say, for instance, your parents have brought you up and they really don't like smoking, and maybe your grandparent died of lung cancer, then you might associate smoking as a bad habit. It's how your mind makes a meaning against what the habit is. A habit isn't good or bad, it just is a habit. It's how you interpret it. So anyway, back to my story. I went on my first diet, and the bad habits I decided to get rid of were binge drinking alcohol and overeating, eating too much rubbish. And the way I decided to do that was counteract it with a good habit. So I decided to start calorie counting by using a calorie counting app, and that stopped me from overeating because I would monitor every day what I ate. And then with the binge drinking, I would drive on nights out. Obviously you can't drink and drive, so I would drive on nights out when I was going out with my friends, so then I couldn't drink, so that solved my problem. And I went on the holiday and I'd lost weight and I felt amazing. I got so many compliments. I thought I looked great in a bikini. I was so happy, and I went on this holiday to Ayia Napa with my friends, and the first few days were great. They were amazing. We were there for 2 weeks and the first few days were really good. And now my friends who are on holiday won't know this, but after that it kind of went on a downward spiral, because I saw two of my friends, Hayley and Heather, and they were lying there next to me on the sunbeds while we were sunbathing, and they are UK size 8. And I had lost weight, but I was still only a UK size 10. And I started comparing myself to these girls, to my friends who were sat next to me. And that initial happiness that I felt from these good habits, they disappeared. So I thought, I need to do something else. I need to change my habits again in order to become happy again. So after that holiday, I decided I'm going to be a size 8. I'm going to lose more weight and I'm going to get down to a size 8. So I decided to cut my calories from 1,200 per day to 500 calories per day. And I thought that was the most amazing idea in the world. Great, cut calories, lose weight. And it worked. I got down in the December, I got down to a size 8. And I was elated with my results. I felt amazing. I thought I was perfect because I had hit my goal. I was a size 8 and it was brilliant. I was getting compliments. I felt really good about myself and it was wonderful. But shortly after that, it didn't last very long. It started to wear off and I started to feel not good enough again, and I thought my habits need to change again. I need to do something different because this isn't working. And I decided to do something which a lot of you will probably think is insane, and now I'm looking back, I do think it's insane, but at the time this is what I genuinely believed was the right thing to do. I decided to put my fingers down my throat after every single meal I ate and throw up, because I was already eating 500 calories a day. I couldn't eat any less. I'd be physically starving and not eating anything. So that was the only way I saw in that moment to lose even more weight. And it worked. I got down to under 8 stone. I got to 7 stone 10 pounds, which is exactly where I wanted to be. And I was happy, I felt really good, I felt good in clothes, and then over time I realised that it wasn't my habits that needed to change because I wasn't happy. The compliments wore off, because when you lose weight, people are going to compliment you in the beginning, like when you get a new job, they're going to compliment you and say that's amazing, but they're not going to compliment you for the rest of your life because you've got a new job or because you lost weight. It stops at a certain point. Those compliments stop coming. And when those compliments stopped coming, I felt like shit. I had put my body through hell to get a compliment off other people that didn't even last that long and didn't make that much of an impact in my life. And I realised that those habits that I had been doing had morphed into an addiction. I was addicted to something. And it wasn't like Faddy said in his video yesterday, the habits weren't the issue. It was the reason behind the habits that was the problem. And the reason why I decided to go on a diet initially, I thought, was because I wanted to lose weight and be healthy. But it wasn't. If I'm really honest, it was because I wanted validation. I wanted to realise and to be told that I was good enough. And I thought the way to do that was to lose weight. And it wasn't, because it didn't make me happy. It didn't make me feel the way I wanted to feel. Being a size 8 and being under 8 stone and being able to say that I was exactly the same as my friends didn't make me happy. So the reasons behind our habits are the issue. They're the main thing that we need to deal with and we need to resolve. The habit is never the issue. The habit is an outcome of your problem, of your issue, of you trying to fix it. But we can't be ashamed of our habits and our addictions and things that we have in our life, because that will just keep us stuck. The reason why I changed, why I stopped having an eating disorder and being addicted to being thin and getting validation from others, was because I went on a night out and me and my friend got talking, my friend Francesca, and I broke down to her about my eating disorder. And she broke down even more than I did. She was crying, she was upset, she was so concerned at what I was doing. And I didn't realise that what I was doing to myself could impact other people. And that's what made me change. It shocked me so much into not wanting to hurt other people anymore. It was no longer about me. My habit was no longer about me, about being thin. It seemed so stupid when I was hurting my friend. The decision was easy. It was easy to break that habit because I didn't want to hurt my friends anymore. And the way I could do that was by making myself happy. And that wasn't by cutting calories or not drinking alcohol. That was by doing things that I love. like exercising and eating foods that I love, whether that's healthy food or chocolate, whatever it is, being happy was my next goal. And that's what made me change. It was the shock that my habits could have such a big impact on the people I love in my life. And when I changed, my habits weren't good or bad. I decided to ask myself a question. Is what I'm doing right now serving me? And it wasn't serving me, because I didn't feel good when my friends and family weren't happy, when they were upset and concerned with me. So I decided to change. And I want you to ask yourself a question. Is what you're doing today, your habits, your addictions, your routine, serving you? Is it serving your goal and where you want to be in your life? Because a lot of us, in fact, all of us, just want to be happy. And is what you're doing serving that goal? Is it serving your goal to get the career that you want? Is it serving your goal to get the relationship that you want? To get the figure you want? To get the friends you want? To get the love you want from yourself? And when you answer that question and you write down and you decide that there's something in your life that you need to change because it's no longer serving you, then the next step is to decide. It's so simple. All you have to do is make the decision to change, to be different, to be true to who you are, and stop comparing yourself to others. You have to change those habits in order to live the best life that you want to live. So I'll leave you with this. Habits are neither good or bad. They just are. They're just habits. You get to decide which habits are good and bad by the meaning you apply to them. But the most important thing is, are those habits serving you? And if they're not, then chuck them in the bin, because you don't need them anymore. I hope you've enjoyed my talk this evening, and have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye!